They've always said that the palace, the royal family, are colourblind, by implication, and that something like this, a conversation like this, couldn't really have happened.
Well, that's interesting that the monarchy would consider themselves, the royal family would consider themselves to be colourblind, because they definitely saw colours that weren't white when they were happy to colonise all of the other countries that, you know, have been impacted by their imperial bloodlust. I just think that anybody who claims to be colourblind, they need to open their eyes, and they need to open their eyes very, very well. Like, we are tired of that narrative. We are tired of the lies, basically. When Meghan mentioned that she would cry while breastfeeding, as a new mother who's running a pole dance studio, I'm a podcaster, a writer, all of these things, I have also sat and cried while breastfeeding from the sheer pressure of all of the things that I do. So to know that Meghan was going through something similar, on top of that she had the obstacles of the press, the tabloids on her back as well, without the support of the royal family, I think it's disgusting. And I think it just goes to speak to the anti-blackness that's inherent in the entire institution.
And let's go back down the line, so to speak. You're appearing in front of me in your wonderful threesome there. And staying then with you, Kelechi, this issue, we've all touched on it, this issue of mental health. Again, it's something members of the royal family, senior members of the royal family, talk about an awful lot, about raising awareness, how important it all is. Yet then we hear this. Can it really be so?
It can definitely be so, because when we look at the neurosis of racism as it exists and how it is pervasive in our society and how it helps the construct of whiteness, it means that one thing can be true for a certain group of people and not true for another group of people. We cared about mental health when it was about white people with white skin, but when we're talking about the mental health of a black woman or a woman that has proximity to blackness, who's got a black mother, suddenly we don't care so much. Harry was allowed to have the Invictus Games to address the mental well-being of those who have been, who have fought for this country, and that was taken away from him the moment that he said he wanted to kind of step back from certain duties. So I just think that the whole thing feels extremely wild, and it's no surprise that in the UK, black women are 4 times more likely to die during childbirth in comparison to white women, and mixed race, biracial women are 3 times more likely to die during childbirth in comparison to white women. What that is telling us is that there is a protection that's afforded to white people that's not afforded to people who are non-white or who are not wholly white. And that is what Meghan, no matter how light her skin is, no matter how American she is, that's what she's experiencing.
And Shola, well, let me put it this way to you on this issue of mental health. I mean, quite clearly, as Meghan described it there, and she's touched on it in the past, they broke her. She came here to England, she tried to fit in, she just couldn't, and has had to leave with all the costs she described there for her mental health. Do you think it was an element of deliberate action by the royal palaces here, by Buckingham Palace, or was it just because it is the way it is?
Let me give you the simple answer. Yes. All you have to do is look back in history. Look at what happened with Diana. They gaslit Diana every single opportunity. They made her feel like there was something wrong with her. What they did with Meghan was definitely to silently, just make her, through silence, quieter, to shut in her, to make her feel like she's nothing. That's